press that would just do all of this.
There's ways it can be done.
I need those ways.
There's ways it can be done.
Because this is like a 5-step. Like, I feel like I'm on drugs trying to get off.
A 5-step process.
Yes.
Did you see the Two Dorks Theater that I set up? Have you actually looked at it on a real life computer?
No, I haven't.
Yeah. So Vash, if you're watching, dude, you can go to twodorks.net and you'll be dropped into the Two Dorks Theater, and it actually looks really cool. It's a placeholder of a website for upcoming, when we do more stuff, you'll just be able to go there and see everything. Or you can go to Twitch. You can do it on Twitch, the Twitch channel too, but this will link to a bunch of other stuff as well. And I was trying to find something to use twodorks.net for because I bought it.
That's awesome.
So, do you see it? Isn't
Let's
that cool?
see. What is it?
Twodorks.net.
Twodorks.net.
Yep.
Two Dorks Theater Forum. What's it?
The Steven Show.
The That's awesome.
Cool?
You're a tss.
Yeah. That's what happens when I lick my finger and I touch my butt. It goes tss. It's called the Leidenfrost effect, which is a real thing. It's when the water skitters around on the cast iron pot when it's too hot. Or any pot. Or any hot surface for that matter. Even a coffee pot.
Is that better?
A little bit of the wall is in the top left corner.
The wall.
That was the opposite direction of where it should have been moved. There you go. Now you're just floating in space happily. Nope. It went back.
Wait, you said that was the opposite. Hold on. There's.
Now you're done. Now you're good.
There's like such a lag though.
Where?
Oh, no. Okay.
There's a lag on the thing.
Okay. Hey, look, we're in Two Dorks Theater.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
I approve of this.
I whipped that up in like 30 minutes. Was happy with it.
I approve of this.
So let's do a show.
Yes.
Let's do a show because we got some stuff to get to. All right, here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Horseshoes and Hand Grenades, episode 347 for February 27th, 2016. Today, we give you a Deadpool review, a Squatty Potty review, a He Said, She Said edition, and a whole bunch of other stuff, including bacon cheeseburger men and some cannibalism.
How do you spell humor? Humor?
Yes. This is
Okay.
Horseshoes and Hand Grenades. Welcome to the show. So happy to be back on your TV screen / computer screen / earbuds, doing all the things that we like to do. We are back in form, everybody, after a huge hiatus. 2 random episodes where we had a limited amount of time because we had to get our butts to a movie theater. We are now here. We are now ready. We have show notes.
With notes.
We have real notes. There's real odd news for today, and there's a whole bunch of awesome other things that we have to talk about. And you're here with us, which to me, that rounds it out. Right, Smash? That is it. That is what we need.
Okay, we've got inappropriateness.
Yeah. Check.
Because I showed up.
Right.
We've got Steven's new haircut.
Steven got a haircut
like a
he's
boss.
An adult with a Superman shirt on because he's also a child.
Okay, so Steven sent me a Snapchat. Everybody should add Steven to Snapchat. What is your Snapchat?
Steve H&H, like it is everywhere.
Okay. Yeah, I'm Ash H&H.
Generally, that's where you're gonna find me there. And I'm glued to Horseshoes and Hand Grenades at this point. We can never stop doing the show.
I know.
Because my Twitter handle, my Xbox handle, my PlayStation handle, like everything.
Mine's either
everything.
Fate Kills or Ash H&H because I was Fate Kills forever and then I kind of. But anyway, it's Ash H&H on Snapchat. So Snapchat us because Steven's like super active. Mm-hmm. During the hours of 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And then...
Right, because I'm not allowed to be dragging my phone around taking pictures of everything after I get home.
And then I'm active when I remember I have Snapchat, which is a lot.
Yeah, well, it usually reminds you because I'm Snapchatting you all day.
I know, it's awesome.
Yeah, we've learned how to work it. I think I'm still an adult using Snapchat, which is embarrassing.
It's the filters. The filters are so much fun.
It's the faces, the puppy dog faces.
That
and
makes it. I think that makes it worth it because if you're a narcissist and you'd like to see your face.
Yeah. Which is, I think we're all a little bit narcissistic at the end of the day. In this generation of please put your face on YouTube all the time, it's kind of a given that's going to happen.
There is so much weird crap on YouTube. Like, there's this 13-year-old boy that there was a guy who had like a towel and he had like a what are the
I don't know. Is
flippy...
this getting into some dangerous territory?
No, he had he'd put the towel around his head so it looked like hair, and he had what are these Pippi Longstocking things?
Pigtails?
So he twisted it until it looked like Valkyrie horns and Pippi Longstocking, and
That's
he
awesome.
had like this one piece really sexy bathing suit on and like swim trunks.
So was he sexy or was it supposed to be a sexy?
It was supposed to be a sexy bathing suit, like on a chick.
Okay, but
And
not
he was
on
just
him.
like running around and doing it. I'm like, what are you doing? And my these 11-year-old girls are falling on the floor laughing at it. I'm like, this is not funny.
It's not for you. That's the thing. It's not for you. We are now the old people on the internet. And here's my theory about the internet though, too, is that you assume that everyone else is your age when you can't see who they are.
Until they start talking.
Yes, like your Diablo experience.
Oh, dear Jesus.
Your Diablo experience with random guy, and you were like, "Oh, this is probably a nice human." And it's like you are not as old as I thought, and it's not. So it's not to say that if you are a young gamer or young internet user,
You're
or young
annoying.
whatever,
Let's just be honest. If you're like 12 and you're playing games, you're so annoying.
It depends on
What are the hammers for? Do you want to play a game? I'm a girl. Nobody gives a crap that you're a girl. Congratulations, you have boobs. You're not special because you're a girl and you're a gamer.
That came from the girl on this show.
That
not
came
me.
from the chick on the show.
Yeah.
Like, that's young. I always know if someone goes, I'm a girl. I'm like, you're 12, jailbait, stop talking. No one cares. And immediately everybody responds with either no, you're not, or nobody cares.
That really, yeah, you don't really get a pass, you know?
No. I mean, so 10 years ago, if you were a girl and you were playing video games,
Oh, geez.
sweet.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah, go look at any of the top channels on Twitch at any given time of the day. 35 girl gamers.
yeah, well, that's because boobs.
No, in general, there are more top girl streamers that aren't showing their boobs that I have seen than the boob streamers.
Sometimes girls are, it depends. Sometimes girls can be more fun to watch, and then sometimes I'm like, I am ashamed of my gender.
Yeah. Then you're like, oh, you're doing that thing where you're like,
Yeah, it's this thing.
girl.
It's the
Yeah.
one finger hair flip and then like
yeah.
adjusty booby
Yeah,
thing.
the ones that I've followed, like when my other guy that I watch isn't streaming, there's another one that I'll follow, and she's actually just like, I'm a girl playing games. Let me talk about stuff. And
Right.
It's not as like blatant.
It's the fun strategies and
Yes.
and yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you're just another person playing a game. That's fine. But anyway, so welcome to the show, everybody. Hi. Yeah, so we're back. We're back doing our thing. And with that, we've got the announcements were upcoming. Do we want a Deadpool review now? And then do a couple stories and then do the Squatty Potty review?
I really want to hear the Squatty Potty review.
You want to hear the Squatty
I
Potty review?
want to hear because I saw Deadpool, so I know how the review's gonna go.
Yeah.
I do want to. My supple breasts are none of your business.
Thanks, Will.
How are breasts supple? Like, I can understand how a person can be supple,
Right.
but I feel like breasts are either. What is one word you would use to describe breasts?
Soft? Pillow-like?
Fluffy!
Like cushy? I don't know.
Sacky fun bag.
I have no idea what you would say.
I don't know. I just like, what is a supple breast? Like, oh, your breasts are so flexible.
I don't know. Boob is a boob.
My left boob is a gold medalist at Flex.
That guy Will says it's like a bag of sand. It's like when Indiana Jones is holding that bag of sand at the beginning of
It
Raiders.
is. It's like
It's exactly what it is.
I mean, I don't hold boobs very often.
I generally hold them like that, and then I'm like, oh, let me look at this idol. I wonder if this is the same weight as this small fertility idol.
It's always like a guy is kind of like, is this one heavier or is this one heavier? Let me dial them up a notch and see if I can get them the same size.
There's some article I read, or someone was reading to me once that said, like, nipples are not radio dials. You don't get to pick a different channel. Like, let's not treat them that way.
It does, like, there are dudes that are like, I'm like, that's
like,
not fun for anybody.
This feels good, right?
You like this? You like that? Oh, you like this? Yeah.
I saw that on the internet once. So if you saw it on the internet, it's probably a bad idea.
Oh.
Get permission.
Don't look at boobs.com. Is that a thing?
I have no
I'm going
idea.
to type that in.
You type that in if
Don't
you want to.
Look.
So let's do the Squatty Potty review. I don't really have a noise for that, but that's kind of my review right there. No. So Squatty Potty, let's talk about it for a second. This is a Christmas present that Ashley gave me and Stephanie.
And you got it yesterday.
And we got it recently. It's a stool that goes underneath your toilet, and you pull it out and put your feet on it whenever you're doing your number 2 business. You know what I mean? And it elevates your knees. And if you want to look this up, Google Squatty Potty, and there's a horrendous commercial with a unicorn pooping ice cream. It's awful. It's like Poopery was charming, and then I feel like these people tried to do what Poopery did, and they just made it as gross as possible. But anyway, the general idea is that when you're squatting, your intestines line up as they're supposed to when you're doing your number 2.
Right.
And if you're sitting with your legs 90-degree level,
that band constricts your poo
chamber.
There's
a muscle that tightens in that position and actually causes you problems going to the bathroom. So the Squatty Potty was invented to save you from yourself and fix this.
To prevent diverticulitis.
Yes, and constipation and hemorrhoids and any other number of things. So that's what this thing is for. So I tried it.
Yeah.
Tried it on Saturday.
I'm assuming you didn't like it.
There's 2 things. One thing, you go immediately. You're done. One and done. It's the best thing ever. You're like, I'm through.
So it worked?
It works. However, this is the perspective that you do not have on the Squatty Potty.
Okay.
When you're squatting, your junk gets elevated about 6 inches up higher on the toilet than it generally is. So when you're sitting there, because dudes know you got to go to the bathroom. You sit down on the toilet and you got to pee. So you just kind of aim down, you know? Well, when you're elevated 6 inches higher, so you now have to make this decision. What am I going to do? How am I going to... So you have this fear that you're going to pee all over the toilet seat because you can't angle everything to where it needs to go in order for you. So I'm sitting there like, oh no, I have an issue. So you have to like kick your legs off the Squatty Potty for a minute, get back down to the level to pee, and then level, build yourself up. Or you can stand and pee and then sit down to poo, which is, and either way, there's no longer a good... Here's the other thing. This is all wildly inappropriate.
I would have never...
There's also, you would think about this though. So there's also no longer a good seal around the toilet.
That's what the poopery is for.
That was my next comment.
That was the tandem gift.
You have to pair them together?
Yes.
Because, when there's no longer a good seal, everything wafts directly up to your nose. Because you're now just like, just right up there. And you're like, holy crap, that smells a lot worse than it should.
Well, I don't eat a lot of meat. And I literally smell like roses because I use the rose-scented poopery.
That poopery is awesome, by the way. It blocks everything. The one you got makes the bathroom smell like a gerbil's cage.
Because it's cedar.
It's cedar. So it's cedar oil smell. You're like, what the? Oh my gosh. Because the poopery is powerful.
You eat 3 spritzes.
3 spritzes is powerful.
3 and done.
Yeah, but 3 is a lot. Like, once you get down to the smell, it's powerful.
I would rather smell
in there
gerbils than pooples.
I will agree with that in general, yeah. But so what you tell me your squatty potty. So you're a big fan.
I think it's fantastic.
But you don't have the anatomy that would require some rethinking of your general.
It is so I wish that there was like girl only and boy only bathrooms at home because
I know where you're going with this one too.
This beautiful man that I live with and that is going to listen to this show. So, guys dribble when they pee. They just do. That's what pee mats are for. However, if you've got a squatty potty under the toilet, you can find little pee dribbles on the squatty potty.
It's not the pee. It's splash damage.
It's whatever. There are
Anything
little
around
yellow
the toilet
spots.
will have collateral damage.
Occasionally, yeah. So I mean,
yeah.
it's a conscious thought to if I'm in there barefoot, I'm like spraying crap down, wipe it. So my toilet is the cleanest thing ever because every time I go to the bathroom, like I wipe everything down because I already have the spray stuff out. So just the floor around it, the squatty potty,
spraying everything.
So it's So that is my one. I think if I had a critique of the squatty potty, is it is not immune to like pee damage.
It's the placement of it because it has a curve in it, so it fits under the base of your toilet.
But I mean, it's
so
still the feet places.
Oh yeah,
they're
out.
So yeah,
but you need to think about that anytime you put like wet wipes by the toilet, the plunger
right.
down by the toilet,
That's why
the cleaning
everything's
material
like
by the toilet,
up hidden out of the now.
But if you're a chick that lives alone for a significant amount of time,
you don't
never
because that's what I always did. I just threw the crap in the floor. But now I'm just like everything around this toilet is gonna get urine on it,
and it's not anyone's fault. It's just when water falls from a high location to a lower location, there's a splash,
right?
And it goes tinky 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 ting,
right,
out everywhere.
And I also like if you're tired, how well did you really shake that thing off before you like withdraw from the safety of the bowl circumference? You know, like did you shake it twice or did you just go I paid and then you like beep beep back up dribble all the way?
I have a question about the shaking twice thing.
Okay, I don't know how long you.
How hardcore is this rule? Other gentlemen who actually have to do this because I've thought about it before. I'm like unless you got to really like crack it like a whip if you're gonna shake it twice and be good to go. I feel like you know. Because people are like, oh, shake it 3 times, you're playing with yourself, and I don't really know if I know that's a correct statement.
Like, so what's the average of shaking?
I don't know till
like I don't
no more pee.
So I feel like if I was a dude and I peed, that I would have to like wet wipe that sucker off because I'm just like, you have we touched the organ.
Yeah.
And wee smells like wee after.
It's you can't know. There's no way it could be explained. See that guy Will, he's awesome. I do it as much as needed because I'm not a savage. That's perfect. That's a perfect answer. So screw the rules. We don't even care about no rules. We just get it till we're clean. It's like having a rule about how many times should you wipe? Well, till Brown leaves town is what the kids song says.
Oh my god!
That's a real children's song, by the way.
Serious?
Yeah, you wipe till Brown leaves town. Oh. This is a terrible way to start the show, by the way. I feel like the squatty potty was a bad opener.
Welcome to Horse Poo and Handgrapee.
Yeah, no kidding. It's just how candid we are, everybody. So as far as the squatty potty, I would recommend it. It was more. It's got some caveats. But if you can deal with those,
it does. It's like 2 minutes. It's like you sit and you're like, well, I don't even have time to run a dungeon.
Yeah, right.
What am I gonna do with the 10 minutes I normally spend here?
No, it's true, and you'll end up sitting there anyway because it's book reading time or whatever. But you shouldn't. You should really get it done.
Well, I mean, if you're like in a squatted position, then I mean, just hang out.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. And I mean, I tend to go at work anyway because I don't get paid to do it at home. You know.
That's true. I feel like there should be like some sort of collapsible, like briefcase squatty potty for on the go, or something that you can like put on the like 2 cups that you can put on the bottoms of your shoe.
That's perfect.
To like.
They're little collapsible cups like like Doc Holliday's shot glass.
And
like,
you just flip them upside down, put your feet there, and be like,
opens right
I've
up.
got my
I
own
have
squatty
my
potty.
stilts right here.
We should call Squatty Potty and organize this.
I think that's actually perfect. I was thinking more like Iron Man 2 when he has his suit in a briefcase. Just completely folds out. And sits
just
down.
like step on the briefcase and like.
Everybody knows. What are you carrying into the bathroom all the time? Oh, this is my squatty potty.
This is my
Porto squat.
my business briefcase. Get it? Get it? It's for business.
It's for doing. I have a little number 2 business, and I take care of it with the materials in this briefcase. Thank you very much.
I'm funny. You're
Oh,
funny.
ladies and gentlemen, let's give you a factoid of the week. Are you ready?
Factoid.
My echo still doesn't work. I don't have time to fix these things.
It's really
I
depressing.
don't have time to do them. But I'll pretend. Factoid of the week.
Beautiful.
It's like 1930s factoid.
Yes, your factoid of the week coming at you straight from 99.5.
France was still executing people by guillotine when Star Wars A New Hope hit theaters. 1977. They were still chopping heads off.
Yeah.
They were watching them roll.
Yep.
That is very frightening. This is the thing about history that people don't think about. Stuff is a lot more recent than we really have in our head. Like World War II, people who fought it are still alive.
And like the Berlin Wall was a thing when I was alive.
80s.
Yeah, like
Yeah, that was a thing. And we're all sitting around now like
talking about building a new wall because we're geniuses.
ain't no way that could happen again. We're
We're
civilized
stupid.
now.
Nobody pays attention.
no.
I feel like that's why they don't teach history, because they're like, the kids don't need to know.
But they need to know.
need to know.
Those who don't know their history are doomed to repeat it.
But I mean it's true.
It is true.
Because if you don't know, it's a bad idea. And how I was so excited to use a big word. Cataclysm.
We make bad decisions, though.
How do you
both
say
as
that word?
Cataclysmic.
Cataclysmically. Is that a word?
Cataclysm.
Is it cataclysm?
You got me thinking it's catechism now.
I
for
thought it was
some reason.
catechism.
No, it's cataclysm.
Catechism.
World of Warcraft cataclysm.
Cataclysm. It's
Yeah.
Oh, it is. It's cataclysm. There's an L in that word.
Yeah, totally. It's not catechism. For
Whoa. Do something with the something in my something. Wow.
sure. You are a writer, right?
Dude, you know when you see words and you know what they
Yes.
mean, and you
Yes.
only need to see the first word, the first like couple letters, and the
then
second
the rest of it
couple
just
letters,
kinda
and your
fills it
brain
in.
goes
Yeah.
vocabulary.
That's why you can read so well, but you suck at spelling.
Yes.
Yeah. That you're not spelling every word.
My
as you
brain
read it.
doesn't see the pieces. My brain sees the whole.
Right. That's what I said. I mean, wait, hold on. Never mind. Yeah. Anyway, doomed to repeat your history. You want to do some world news? You want to actually
Please.
give people something?
Yes, let's
do this. World news. A man has changed his name to Bacon Double Cheeseburger.
That's a thing now.
I want a bacon double cheeseburger. That sounds delicious, but not this guy. I don't want him. I want the menu item. In the list of life's regrets, this shockingly isn't one. A British man decided to legally change his name to Bacon Double Cheeseburger as a show of his undying love of the sandwich. I've no regrets at all, says the British man. Sam Smith, 33. Well, I mean, I would change my name, too. That's like the most generic name in the world. Sam Smith. That's almost worse than John Smith.
Sam.
He
Well,
could have changed it to anything.
well, if his
didn't
middle
have to.
name could have been like Oliver,
Oh,
and
yeah,
then
Sam
his
Oliver.
initials would have been
True.
SOS.
He said Bacon Double Cheeseburger was pretty much the first thing that came up after a night of drinking with his buddies, who convinced him to go ahead and do the stunt. Drinking with your buddies, never make any permanent decisions. Tattoos, name changes, generally not a good idea. It was the culmination of probably too many drinks in the pub where there was a conversation about names, he said. After he sobered up, he still embraced his new identity. I've got no regrets at all, he said. So what do his parents think? My mom was furious, but my dad thinks it's hilarious. He's more than happy to use my new name. Another person not too pleased with the name apparently is Smith's fiance. He says, my fiance is fairly reluctant about marrying a cheeseburger.
Oh gosh, she would have to change her last name.
Cheeseburger. That's something we're discussing a lot. No girl ever dreams of spending her day marrying a man called Bacon. Who knows? The odd name could have perks. Remember the Burger and King couple who got married? Fast food giant Burger King picked up the tab for their wedding. For now, Smith proudly signs off his work emails as BD Cheeseburger.
BD. So, like, if you knew somebody... So, I have this issue. Like, I've known somebody since I was 13 that recently changed their name. Like, all of it legally. And I'm just like, I still know you as this name. And it's so weird that you go by a completely different name. And
Not only that, but a fairly exotic name.
Yeah.
I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah, it's fairly exotic. It's like you don't change your name from, like, Don Johnson
to BD
to Burt
Cheeseburger.
Reynolds. Like,
right.
You don't change it to something other normal name. You change it, and that's not to say these names aren't normal, at least the one you're thinking of, but it's just odd because you're like out of nowhere. It's like change your name from John Davis to Bartholomew von Schnitzelberger. You're like, what?
The third.
Yeah, the third.
Yeah. I'm like, I've known you for this name since you were 3. And then when we started hanging out again as like adults, I had this nickname for you, which apparently like pisses you off now. Sorry.
Oops. Yeah, but it's weird. Like, how do you start calling somebody something new?
Yeah.
You've known them for that long.
And then the first name gets like shortened down and spelled differently than even the way he changed it. So I'm just like, I'm so confused. What do I call you?
How do I do this?
Yeah.
How do we navigate this river? I don't know. You know what? I support Mr. Cheeseburger and his new plan, his new identity.
I feel
How did he get it changed though? Like, he didn't do this in a night of drinking because it would have to take more time and paperwork and whatnot.
Yeah, that's true, because you don't just call 1-800 I want to change my name.com and like
go into the courthouse.
Yeah, that's a federal.
Stuff.
Well,
This
he
is
did this in
Britland.
the
This is Britland, so I don't know. Britland, you might be able just to call a 1-800 number. 1-800 change my name.
I had well, I mean, he's not going to listen to the show because I haven't talked to him in like 7 years, but his name was Aiden, and he legally changed his name to K Fox because he was a furry, and the Fox was his furry thing. And I'm just like, I didn't believe him. I'm like, there's no way you legally changed your name, out of nowhere. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, why'd you change your name? And then he said something about the FBI, and I'm like, why am I hanging out with these people?
He's changed his name to K Fox because of his furry identity.
Yes.
I'm not.
It's just I feel like, okay, so I'm gonna have like a mom moment just to be devil's advocate. So like, I went through a super goth phase, and there's still I still love the culture. I still think like some of the clothes is awesome, and like I would wear the boots and the dog collars and stuff. There's some of the girls that I work with wear the dog collars. I'm like, rock on, that is awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
You can't do that as an adult because you get shunned and like people are awful, and it's so much worse as an adult. But I'm like, do you grow out of the furry phase and then you look back on it and go, yeah, I shouldn't have yiffed that dude in the corner over there.
I wish I could understand. But on the other hand, I'm like, maybe I just won't, and I can't, and it's not something I'm gonna. Because you say furry phase like it's a phase,
right?
Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
but is it?
I know. Like, I feel like most of the people I knew that were super like furry a decade ago are still super furry.
They still want to go curl up in a cave with a bunch of other furry people.
I feel like some people want to be superheroes, some people want to be Barbies, and some people want to be foxes.
Like how you said that, foxes, but with a different type of inflection. No, I guess you're right. I mean, we see them walking around Dragon Con. They've got the tails up their butt or whatever, and their ears on. And
did you just say they got the tails up their butt?
Yeah,
they have the butt plug tail things. I don't think they wear those to Dragon Con though, because that would be really uncomfortable.
It's that's not okay. But yeah, you can find them. They were in their fluffy tail feather things.
But Will got invited to a furry party at a convention. Apparently, did you go? That's my question.
Well, he says he doesn't feel like it's a thing you grow out of. I think he's right. And Rogue Puppy Dog over in Twitch chat says his fiance is a furry, and she says it's forever and not for sexual stuff. So I guess it's a thing, but it's not a. And again, as we've been saying, we're not putting it down. It's just I don't get it.
No, yeah, I'm just I mean
that's okay.
I know there is, and like anything else, there is like the super sexual side to
Oh yeah, you can be like, I enjoy dressing as Captain America, but on the backside, I'm dressed as Captain America, going around rubbing up on people.
Right. Yeah. It's like the people that want to have sex with cars.
Right, and the dragons too.
That is so like you take the people that want to have sex with a car and the people that want to have sex with a dragon, and then you end up having a dragon screwing a car on my Google search.
Yeah, that exists.
And I'm just like, my brain, like, I think I'm fairly creative when it comes to some things, and then I'm just like, nope.
I don't know where that comes from. No, I mean it's what you want to do. I don't care. I'm very much for the freedom of choosing whatever you want, whatever lifestyle you want, so long as you're not hurting
I mean,
anybody.
don't kill virgins, but
Yeah, but whatever. I don't care. It's good. I mean, I hear those costumes are expensive. We can move on.
okay.
Small town news.
Dude, this is so cool. Okay.
Oh, Vash found an entire subreddit to the dragons having sex with
Oh,
cars.
dear Lord. Reddit. Dear Lord, Reddit.
Reddit can be great, and it can be
Anytime
also
someone
terrifying.
says subreddit, I'm like,
I venture
you have
across.
gone too far
I
into
venture
the
around
depths.
a lot of subreddits. A lot of them. There's a Linux subreddit. There's like IT subreddit. There's all these different fun ones. There's a Two Dorks subreddit.
And there's a dragon having sex with a car subreddit.
Yeah, so it's all about it. How dark do you want it to get? You can
How deep into the depths of the void do you want to go?
Exactly.
I was loud. Okay. Have you heard about this?
I have not. This is new to me.
You're like, read the story. So, all right. A Pennsylvania high school honor student, just months from graduation, was actually a 23-year-old Ukrainian national using a false identity after his visa expired.
That's awesome.
So, like, I read that. I'm like, why would anyone want to go back to high school?
No, well, there is the 21 Jump Street and Never Been Kissed.
Yes.
2 movies where this occurred.
Nobody wants to go back to... I would rather open up my veins and pour out my lifeblood than go back to high school.
Yeah.
And we had a fairly sheltered high school.
Yes, we did.
Samarin? Samarin?
The Samarin sounds good to me.
Yeah. Is it Arthur?
Sure.
Sure. Let's go with Arthur.
I'll do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Who used the alias Asher Potts, which is just the coolest freaking name
That's
ever.
great. They'll change my name to that.
Right? Asher Potts. Like, that's cool. Like,
Yeah.
that sounds like a superhero name.
Yeah, I like it.
He's accused of masquerading as a Harrisburg High School student who was a member of the National Honor Society. So this guy was like in the Honor Society. I mean, he's 23, so he might be a little
How
smarter.
are you 23 and they can't tell that you're not supposed
Well,
to be?
the picture, he looks super young.
Oh, okay.
And
Well,
also,
look at
you
the
know,
picture.
every high school series on television, there's 30-year-olds playing 16-year-olds.
Yes,
So we don't know any difference
We
anymore.
have no clue.
Yeah.
Yep.
Asher Potts was actively involved at the school, working with the student advisory group on a food bank, and he was a member of the school's ROTC and Naval Sea Cadet program. So this guy was like,
He's an overachiever.
he was awesome.
Yeah.
He had a Pennsylvania driver's license in Potts' name when he was arrested, authorities said. Police believe that identity was fabricated and no one's identity was compromised. So to do that, he didn't steal anybody's identity.
No, he just made it up.
Right. So Sergeant Terry Whalen said, Whalen Utani.
Aliens.
I'm really excited for the new alien thing. Said that police got a tip about his whereabouts 2 months ago, and I want to shoot whoever did that.
Yeah.
Not really, FBI. I'm not going to shoot anybody. Chill out. Excuse me.
No, calm down, everyone.
I know. Let's just put your guns in your pockets. Authorities believe he was in the country for about 4 years. He enrolled at the high school as a freshman and was less than 4 months from graduation. He lived with people he befriended. Blah, 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 blah. Where was
Doing
the... Oh,
pretty good.
so there's this guy that's in... He actually is a freshman at Willing Jesuit University in West Virginia.
Hey, we know where that is.
Right. So he knew Asher Potts from this math and science program that they were selected to participate in at Penn State. And he said they were in a group together and did a presentation on cosmic rays and detecting radiation. And he said, it's totally mind-blowing to me. Honestly, he was a very respectable guy. He was the perfect role model, someone you would want your son to look up to. He said some of the other kids in the program would joke that he was a Russian spy because of his accent, but nothing was wrong with him from my perspective. And I'm just like...
So he didn't necessarily do anything malicious.
No, not at all.
He just went back to high school as a different name.
Yeah, and he's obviously very intelligent.
Yeah.
And he's like, so he was over here on a visa.
Yeah.
And it expired. And he's like, screw this crap. I want to stay here.
So he went back to high school.
I'm like, okay, if this person is not a detriment to society and is
Right.
in fact an asset to like the school and everyone around him, and obviously he's really smart, he's going to go on to do great things. Why are you going to ship him back to freaking, where is he from?
We ain't got time for no...
Ukraine?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
back to the Ukraine. I'm just like, let him.
But yeah, why not like figure out a way to keep him here?
Yeah, non-violent, smart kid that literally someone said you would want your son to look up to.
Yeah. And you're like, I think we'll ship him back.
Why don't we spend money on something else, guys?
Oh, immigration is a complex thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Give me your tired, your weary, your huddled masses.
And we'll send them asses packing.
And we'll put them back in a boat and send them back across. This Statue of Liberty is like, no, I'm replacing my torch with a stop sign pretty soon.
I'm going to build a wall and make them Mexicans pay for it. Uh-huh.
Stop. I literally saw a YouTube video where they were like, this is what a Trump supporter is. I think you posted it.
That
And
was me.
One dude
Like
was
Elvis?
One dude was like, I'm voting for him because he's going to build that wall and make Mexico pay for it.
That guy was like, he was awful. He's like, he had me when he said that he was going to build a wall and make Mexico pay for it. That's right there when they had my vote. He had me there.
You can't make another sovereign nation do anything.
I know. I'm like, does nobody
don't
have
get it.
any brain cells to rub together anymore?
I don't get it. And I don't want to drive this down that road again because we don't do politics on this show. But I don't get it. I don't understand.
To our listeners in other countries, we
don't
love
understand.
you. And in November, if the vote comes down to Hillary or Trump or actually anybody else besides the
Anybody.
yeah,
Anybody.
just anybody that's currently getting TV time right now,
I'm sorry.
do you have a spare room
I don't
for a family of 3 and then me and Jacob?
I don't get it.
Cuz I'm afraid.
It's terrifying. I was telling Jacob earlier though. I feel like 4 years of an egomaniac who doesn't really understand that the office of the president is a serious job.
And his Playboy penthouse wife. How is that a first lady? People are like, oh, his beautiful wife. I'm like, I've seen her boobs. Everybody has seen her boobs. You're not supposed to see the first lady's boobs.
The president of France had that boob first lady.
That's France. They're all booby people.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
true.
they're just like, look at
We're
my
much
hairy
more
armpits
shielded.
and my boobs.
We're much more shielded.
Yes. I mean, we shoot people. We don't show boobs. We're different. We use the freaking metric system. Oh, wait. No, we don't.
We're different.
We're like different in the way the short buses are different. America.
Gosh, I don't even know what to think anymore.
Let's go. Let's move on.
Okay, good.
Steve's like,
Thank you.
"Yay."
News better left untold. This story's gross.
It hurts.
This
Oh, it hurts so
story's-
much. It hurts. It
My
hurts so much.
fingertips, they burn. Dude chewed his fingertips off to avoid recognition. He chewed his fingertips. Fingertips off. Police say a fugitive from Tampa, Florida, go figure, who didn't want to be identified by his fingerprints during a traffic stop in Northeast Ohio.
Ohio. I'm fine. How are you?
Chewed off his fingertips. That's worse than like Men in Black when Will Smith puts his hand on that ball and it's like brr, 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 brr. Kirk Kelly has been jailed on felony counts of evidence tampering and obstructing official business and misdemeanor charges of falsification and resisting arrest. That sentence was a mouthful. See, I would have broke Puppy Dog in Twitch chat. Said some people Twitch chat says some people burn them off, which I think would actually be better.
So
than
that I mean
chewing
that's
them
like
off.
you're not like taking a chunk of flesh, right?
Yeah.
Like I've seen, so I saw a friend accidentally do it with battery acid, and it just kind of mangles the
Yeah.
area until you no longer have an identifiable mark. But it's
Right.
like, okay, so you're sitting in a car,
Yeah.
you're at a police stop or whatever, is going on. You
I'm
see a
there.
cop and you're like, I've done some bad things in my life and I'm not going back to jail. Like, first of all, can you imagine the mental dedication that it would take to look at your fingers and go, I'm gonna bite one of them off, and then to do it 9 more times.
Oh, gosh.
Like, if that first one wasn't bad enough, you have a chunk of your flesh on your tongue, you've got salty, coppery blood dripping down your face, and you're gonna do it again
9
and
more
again
times.
and again. Wow.
Yeah, that's the part that
Homie done be crazy.
oh yeah.
That's not
You've
okay.
got to be high on bath salts or something.
Right?
Police in Talmadge, Ohio, say Kelly and several other people were put into a cruiser without handcuffs after their vehicle was stopped last weekend, and officers thought they smelled drugs. Police say Kelly gave false names as they tried to identify him. They say they figured out who he is after photos of his tattoos were provided by police in Florida, where he's wanted on firearms and drug charges. Chewed off his fingertip. Like, I wonder if it's the whole tip, or like he went for the pad, like or harder hip. And he just had nothing.
Like, what would you like? Oh, my dear God! Like, you would have to like work it, like
You'd
back
have to
and
bite
forth
through that joint right there and just rip it loose.
Like, see, I thought it would be just like like this.
No, you'd have to not. I bet he just bit his fingertips off, like his whole tip, like because you couldn't just bite. You can't bite through bone very well, right? Have you ever seen 127 Hours? The movie where he cuts his arm off at the end because he's stuck in a boulder?
No. Jacob and I were talking about that. We're like, we're not gonna. What is our Twitch thing?
It's a great movie. Two Dorks TV.
Okay.
It was a great movie, but yeah, I mean, he gets to the bone with his little pocket knife, and it's like, oh no, he can't get through that. He had a dull pocket knife because he lost.
You would
his
have to
good
like
one.
snap the.
Yeah, he had to break his arm.
How did he not bleed to death?
Well, I guess I don't know. I don't know how you don't bleed to death. He wrapped it up with a tourniquet first because he had a belt, right? So that would give you a little bit of time. And by the time it got, like, I remember hearing the guy tell the story. Like, by the time it got to where he was going to cut it off, it was so numb. And if somebody had got to him and been able to lift the boulder, he'd have died anyway because of crush syndrome.
Oh, because it clotted and then it would
all
send the
those
clot to his heart.
dead cells, right? And then if you release the pressure and the blood can flow again, it'll bring all that the dead material back into your body and you die.
Wouldn't it just like clot?
I don't know if it's a clot. I think it's basically poisoning yourself with dead bacteria or dead. I mean, because your whole body is just not. It hasn't had oxygen for multiple days.
Huh.
But yeah, I don't know. Look up crush syndrome. I don't have all the details. I just know it's a thing.
No, I didn't know. I mean, I could see like maybe if there was a clot that developed on the other side and then it like freed itself and.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Crush syndrome, also traumatic rhabdomyolysis or Bywater syndrome, is a medical condition characterized by major shock and renal failure after a crushing injury to skeletal muscle.
It doesn't really say
doesn't
why.
tell me
yeah.
anything.
Thanks, Donald Trump. Google.com.
Yeah, they don't even. It doesn't. This wiki article's got lots of words in it. We're not going to worry about that.
I had to look up. It was like the law of mass conservation or something like that, because I was helping a 14-year-old with chemistry, and then I realized that I didn't know what any of the words were, and I couldn't balance an equation because I didn't even know you had to balance the equation. It just had like a blank.
Right.
She's like, how many?
Like,
and yeah,
they
called.
gave you math for one thing, which is just mind blowing to me.
So Gabby forgot her. Gabby is basically me, but 10.
Yeah.
So it's like me, but worse. So she forgot her book bag at home, and she was like running around in circles, and she's like doing backflips off the chair, and like we're talking about the law of mass conservation and thermodynamics and trying to balance an equation, and I'm just like, I called Jacob. I'm like, dude, if you don't help me out, I'm screwed.
I need your help.
He's got that super kind of commanding voice, so everybody just kind of sat down and listened to him trying to help us balance an equation. I'm like, this is what it's like when children listen.
You're so smart.
Fantastic.
You're much better at entertaining the children than doing
not
your thing.
Gonna teach anybody anything.
WTF section. WTF.
Rar.
Are you in the chat now as H&H show so you
Yes.
can see it? There you
I
go.
wanted to see puppies.
There you go. Good work. I don't know what to do about the two different chats. I don't know
Yeah,
how
we'll have
I
to
don't know
fix
how
it. I
handle
figured I would talk to puppies.
Yeah, that works. Drones to. Oh wait, this is your story. I was gonna read it.
Oh,
I'm not gonna read it now.
is this? Oh, are we done?
No, it's the WTF section.
That's it, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, this is so funny. So this is right up Steven's alley. Drones. They're going to use drones to protect the secrecy of filming for Star Wars Episode 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 in Croatia next month. At a count.
Like how you had to do that. Roman numerals.
Well, I can't just look at it and know what it means. I have to. Because I know the V's a 5.
You know it's coming after Episode 7.
I didn't know what episode we were on. There's like Jar Jar Binks and.
Episode 347. I'm kidding. Just keep going.
I was like, wait a minute. That's what I thought.
Your poor brain. I saw it short circuit there for a second. Like,
Yay. So this is my question. How are they going to use the drones to protect, like, are they going to fire blaster lasers off the pew, 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 pew? Like,
sure.
get off my lawn, you kids. We're trying to film. What are you going to do? Like, I'm going to.
Spray bottles.
Yeah. Like cat urine. We're just going to
I don't
spray you
know.
with it.
They're armed with like Nerf balls. They just pew, 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 pew.
So I guess they're going to try to use them to intercept other uninvited drones, which have been sent in to photograph and record scenes from the new movie.
Jeez.
Disney is also recruiting 600 guards to make sure nobody bothers the actors while they're filming scenes. This is can you imagine trying to keep a movie secret in this day and age where it's
No.
like...
They managed with Force Awakens. They did a really good job.
They did.
You know, and the stuff that you got, like the pictures you got, didn't really do anything.
I'm ignoring everything. Like, everybody wants spoilers and stuff now. I'm like,
I don't want spoilers.
why? You walk into the movie
And you know most
and it's
of it.
miserable because, like, people release the stuff and you're like, well, I knew that twist was coming. So you never get the, I know who Luke's father is moment because you go into it knowing it.
I know. I knew from when I was really little because that was one of the best, the number one sayings to say when you like talked into your fan at your grandma's house.
your father.
I am your father. Even though it didn't make you sound like Darth Vader.
Yeah, it just kind of made you sound like a robotic.
Yeah.
I mean, you suddenly make like Darth Vader's arm.
Yeah, but that's what everybody did, so I already knew. But I'm going to try to protect Sam from it as long as I can so he gets a pure, experience. Because I feel like that would be awesome.
To find that out. Yeah, I'm trying to think
First
of another
time.
like super twisting movie moment that's kind of on...
The Sixth Sense.
Yeah, well, see, that was ruined for me because I walked into the room when my parents were watching it and he goes, I see dead people.
Saw had a great...
That was good.
That was
fantastic,
awesome.
yeah.
Right there at the end, that was... Oh, my jaw
like,
dropped open.
The music kind of
Yeah.
going and
Like-
that was good.
Yeah, I was stunned.
That was a really
That was a really good
that was a good movie.
That was a good movie. Saw
horrifying.
2 through 87. Nah, but Saw 1?
The overarching plot, I think, was fantastic.
Yeah.
But
See, I didn't
it
watch
got
it like
lost
a TV
in the
series.
different directors and stuff.
I couldn't get through number 2 because the hypodermic needle thing.
Holy
It just
balls,
jacked.
dude.
I couldn't.
That-
I can't watch something like that.
Like, even in Resident Evil, where she pulls the needle, like, out
out.
and she's
Oh, yeah.
screaming, I'm just like... blah.
Anytime somebody's unplugging themselves from a hospital by themselves, I'm like, no, don't take things out of your body that are there.
Rogue Puppy Dog said they're going to glue a sign to the drones and say, go away.
That's a perfect response, actually. That's about as good as they can do it.
Get off my
Get
lawn.
off my lawn.
You trespassers. Yeah. But anyway,
So that's the thing.
Their Dutch police are training eagles to snatch drones like out of the sky, which I thought was awesome.
That is the best thing ever. We fight them with nature.
That's what I told Jacob.
That would
I
do
was
it.
like, okay, so you've got this like one of the a more advanced piece of technology that we have right now, and a bird. The bird's gonna win.
The bird's like,
I mean,
you're
like
done.
Eagles versus Skynet. That needs to be like
That's
an
a big thing.
iPhone app.
Yeah, that'll be a thing. It's like the tree ants versus the orcs, in Lord of the Rings.
I
The
thought you said
trees are
tree ants. I'm like,
We're
what the hell's
made
a
of
tree?
trees, and we're gonna stop you. And the orcs are like, we're all orcs, and the towers fall, and the water falls, and the nature saves the day.
Did you just say we're made of trees?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm a person of made of people.
Oh my God.
I'm a baby. I'm made of babies.
Made of babies. I'm a tree made of trees. That's awesome. So, we're at the end of the show.
We did it!
And that can mean only one thing.
Words of wisdom.
A Deadpool review.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't reviewed... And Frankie, you demanded a spoilerific explosion of a Deadpool
If
review.
you have not seen Deadpool, stop listening now. Get your words of wisdom on the site. Go away. Have a nice day. Stop listening. Spoilers.
Don't listen anymore.
Stop listening.
Don't listen anymore. Here's your spoiler alert.
That is your everything alert. That is like your life
I know.
theme.
Thank you, Vash. I appreciate you being cooperative. We really want to talk about this movie, so it's going to happen.
Is Vash going to peace out?
Yeah, he's peacing out.
Peace. I love you, dude.
Deadpool. We both seen it. We both loved it. Yes?
Yes. Holy
Yes.
shitballs. It was so good.
I will tell you in a few words my thoughts. That is, it is a comic book come to life like I have never seen before. It is not like we made a comic into a movie. It's like, no, we just took everything that's awesome about the comic and directly translated it onto film.
We animated the pages with people.
Right.
I'm
It was,
a comic made out of people.
this is going to be a thing now. It was perfect. Like number one thing stands out to me. All the costumes looked like
they were right.
the
Yes!
characters. They looked like the comic book
The
characters.
X-Men had yellow in their costumes.
It wasn't like, well, we need to like change this around because we don't think it'll work on screen. No, it's just like Deadpool. He even had the little like tuft thing on the back of his head because his in the comics his hood never fits or his mask never fits
It's
all the
like
way. It's
always
got
that little. It's
that
like when
little
you
elf
hang a
point.
sweater
Yes.
up and it's got the knot.
That
Yeah.
little elf point. I was like, they even built that into the costume. Like, yes, this is everything that it should be. It was raunchy, but in an appropriate level.
I was gonna say it wasn't. They did it. They balanced the humor and the over the topness without you just going, why did they put that in there?
Yeah, there wasn't anything where I was just like, that was wildly inappropriate and completely off tone for the
I mean,
movie.
everything was wildly inappropriate. Like all the sex scenes
Oh,
of like his
gosh.
butt walking around. I mean, just like
the montage of holidays, including Women's International Day.
oh, that was hilarious.
I was like, I don't.
That
I'm
was hilarious.
I'm confused.
Did you? She's copycat, right?
Don't know.
So there's because he dates an X-Men, but her name's Copycat, and she can like make herself look. She's a like shapeshifter, and so when she says I've been a lot of different people, I thought that was like a reference to her being Copycat because that
know.
was his true love was like Copycat.
I thought I read somewhere that they weren't using that. Like they kind of alluded to it, but it wasn't that she was a mutant.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that was just alluding to I've been a lot of different people in the sense that I've had to play a lot of different roles in my life.
Yeah, so it says she because she's Vanessa. Yeah, she portrays Vanessa in the
Okay.
Yeah, so that's
I thought that wasn't.
so
a thing
I'm
they
just
were doing.
wondering if that's gonna be if they're gonna carry that out into the next one.
They might, which they're bringing Cable in to the next one.
Dude,
So yes, please.
what is dude's name? Christopher Lang. Is that him?
Stephen Lang.
Stephen Lang.
Yeah.
He would be like I know everybody's off their rock about Keira Knightley, but please.
Because
Let's
she's
just-
got range.
Right? I'm like, please. Like I need some eyebrow movement in Cable because Cable's a douche.
Oh yeah, yeah. I see. When I first started reading Deadpool, it was Deadpool and Cable was the comic that I'd picked up, or Cable and Deadpool.
I
They
do
go
think
together.
that Stephen Lang would be because he kind of plays that kind of militaristic douche really well.
He would do fine. I don't know if they'll go with him, but so far they've basically been doing anything that they're like, we'll do whatever the
Right.
people like. Sure.
And like
Why
he's
not?
buff as all crap.
Yeah, he would work.
I'm
I
like,
think
you
we
could be a
spin
time
that.
traveling bucket douche.
Yeah, I think he could do that. But I'm like the eyes,
Yes!
Deadpool's
Yes,
eyes.
the animated is so good.
It was so much better than anything because one of the things that you always hear directors talk about is that you have to have eyes when
Right.
because you need to see the emotion and
Right.
everything. And they're like, well, Deadpool's eyes need to be white because they're white in the comics. And they're like, well, how do we fix that? CG eyes.
It flowed well. It looked well.
great.
Like
It looked
you could.
everything.
He emoted very well through that mask. Like because this whole like section from his eyebrows to his chin.
Uh huh.
there was a lot of movement.
moving.
It was so good. Yeah.
Constantly. And the breaking of the fourth wall, they did it so well.
Yes.
It wasn't like out of place. And then at the end with the Ferris Bueller throwback, I died. He walks out with a bathrobe and the towel on his head.
And maybe Keira Knightley.
It was hyper violent, but nothing more than you'd see in a Quentin Tarantino movie. I think the sex scenes went above and beyond what you would normally want to see.
Well, yeah.
In a Marvel movie, but in general, it was fine. There was some full frontal nudity there in the strip club for a second.
Yeah. I mean, I watch Dexter and I see worse than that.
Yeah.
Actually, there's episodes of Dexter that are way worse than what I saw in that movie.
So, in other words, don't take your kids to this.
Frankie Yu took his 6-year-old.
Don't take your.
I'm kidding, Frankie.
Don't take your kids to see Deadpool. It's not their superhero. It's an adult superhero, but not it. It works rated R because Deadpool should be rated R.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I think I'm most afraid of is that Hollywood's going to do what they did with Batman, Superman. They'll be like, "Well, The Dark Knight worked and it made a ton of money, probably because it was dark, right?
Jeez.
Not because it was a well-written story and incredibly well acted and appropriate for the hero. No, it's probably because it was dark. So we'll make Man of Steel dark too, and then we'll make Batman vs Superman dark, and then Wonder Woman dark. And it's just like, come on, guys. So I don't want to see R-rated superhero movies just coming up left and right because they think that's why Deadpool was successful.
Right. No, Deadpool was successful because they stuck to the source material like white on rice. It's just my favorite line in the whole movie is where he screams, "Negasonic Teenage, what the shit?"
That's the coolest name ever.
I was like, ah.
So awesome.
I took one of those Marvel quizzes and it said I was Deadpool, and I'm like, yeah.
You know what was really refreshing about this movie too? The whole world wasn't at stake. There wasn't some giant apocalypse
there
level
weren't aliens
event.
invading.
No buildings fell down.
Just an already wrecked ship.
Just an already wrecked ship. It was a guy who wanted to be hot again. Chasing the guy he thought could make him hot again.
The thing, it actually kind of broke my heart when he was following her in the hoodie.
Yeah.
And at that point, he's been away a year?
Yeah.
At least.
They beat on him forever.
Yeah, at least a year. And that's the only thing that kept him going. And he thinks that she doesn't love him enough to see past that. And so he spends the next 2 trying to get back to the hot dude. And I'm like, can you imagine being that in love with somebody and thinking that maybe they didn't love you enough?
Yeah, to see past the crustiness that you've become.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, that hurt. I'm like, oh.
But it was it was amazing because it was like 1 minute you'd be laughing really hard, and the next minute you would feel terrible for him.
Yeah, you're like, dude.
He's this wisecracking crazy man, but then on the other hand, you're like, he's also this heartbroken guy who thinks the only reason that what he needs to look like Ryan Reynolds in order to get the girl. One of the things that I thought was so funny was he was sitting with his blind roommate, and he was like, "You think Ryan Reynolds got this far on his acting ability?" And I was like, "That's the best thing I've ever heard." And it was the sight gags. There's so many sight gags. He walks into the house, throws his mask off, his boots off, and puts on a pair of Crocs and just wanders around moping. And you're just like, why the Crocs? Why the Crocs, Deadpool?
I love that the blind lady was putting together the IKEA stuff. What is going on right now?
They were arguing about it. It was just perfect. It was tonally exactly what I wanted. There was enough stuff in it. You think you're going to go see Deadpool and he's just going to be able to take everything and be wisecracking the whole time. But there are real moments of fear where you're like, this is a human. So you could relate.
Yeah.
You're like, yes, he's hilarious when he's got the mask on. But at the end of the day, he's still a dude who's about to go through some crap to cure his cancer.
I like when he starts chewing on himself to get rid of, to get out. I'm just like, oh, the floppy thing. That was so good. I'm just like, that was 30 seconds in the movie. I'm like, I'm in love. This movie is perfect.
I'm sold. I like the way they told the backstory and flashbacks, and the credits at the beginning were just
so good.
It was good. The credits at the beginning set you up for everything else.
It was good. It was really funny, but it also was heartbreaking at times.
Yes.
And kind of inspirational. During the inspirational scene, when Colossus is like, 4 or 5 moments.
Yeah.
4 or 5. I'll work on the other 4.
Yep. Oh, that was that got me. I like that a lot. There it only takes 4 or 5 moments to be a hero. It's like you were droning on.
I know.
On.
When I said that, I'm like, dude, that's me and Steven. Like, Steven's like espousing, like,
come on, you got to do the right thing.
Be a good person. I don't want to.
I don't want to. Maybe later.
Maybe tomorrow.
Maybe later. Not now. Not with this guy.
Okay.
That was awesome. You guys have been fantastic. We love you all. Thanks to our new Twitchy followers.
Puppy
Picked this up
dogs.
on here, Rogue Puppy Dog, for jumping in, joining us as always. Again, that was awesome. Lil Will and Vash been in the chat hanging out with us a bit. I know Frankie, you stopped in earlier, so I hope you guys have yourselves a wonderful week. Next weekend, I've got Sam's birthday party on Saturday, so we'll see how that affects.
Oh yeah.
What we got going on with the show. I'm open to doing it.
Okay.
I just don't know what it's going to look like because I don't know who's going to have him and what we got to get ready. And all
Well, you're
those
gonna
things,
have
so.
like 30 people here to watch him. So
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know, but we'll see.
we
what
can
we can
do it like maybe squeeze 30 minutes in if we try.
Yeah, so watch the Twitter, H&H Show on Twitter or Two Dorks TV on Twitter, one of those. I'll be tweeting out what we're going to do, so pay attention there. If you'd like, send your questions, comments, feedback, and hate mail to hnhshow@gmail.com. Hey, had a baby It's a Boy was watching. So glad you're back. So glad we're all here together.
I know.
This is so nice. Call us and leave us a voicemail if you want to hear your voice on the internet. I'd love to play it. That's H&H Live on Skype, so if we get the voicemail, we'll put it on the air. Download our show wherever you want to get it. I don't even care anymore. iTunes, your Google Plays, your whatever. I don't care.
listen in front of your children.
Yeah, exactly. It's much like Deadpool. Follow us on Twitter. I'm Steve H&H. H&H Show is the Twitter account. Two Dorks TV for all things other than H&H if we do other things.
We have been wanting to Twitch, but we've got a sound issue, and we figured it would be really boring just to watch us run around playing
It would be.
Lara Croft
You need to at
without
least be able to talk.
us talking. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when we fix the sound issue, then
Then we're good.
yeah,
You guys could really just plug in that desktop mic and sit in front of you.
that's
Like,
true.
You're playing it off the PC anyway.
Yeah, that's true. That's actually true.
You're not trying to port sound from the PlayStation into the PC.
Yeah, because we're playing the PC game.
Yeah, so just do that.
Hmm.
I mean, you don't have to, but I've been playing Firewatch, by the way.
Are you enjoying it?
I am enjoying it. I know the ending's going to disappoint me from all the rumors that
Yeah.
I've heard, but the story so far is pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. I'm really enjoying what I've got going on. It's a
Nice.
mystery. So happy with that, and The Witcher is a constant ongoing saga. So still playing that. If Stephanie goes to bed early tonight, I might throw the headset on and stream that and talk.
Nice. Yeah, do that.
I won't have a camera, but I might at least talk. And you'll be jumping in halfway through the story, so
That's true.
I know, but we'll see how it goes. If you'd like, you can donate to us to make the show better. We have a Patreon site, patreon.com/H&H Show. You can toss some monies out there. Ashley wants to buy some cat ears.
I want the cat ear, the headphone thingies.
Speaking of furries,
no, they're so cute though, and they've got like the lighty things in there.
oh yeah, they're super fun.
I hate you.
So thank you guys so much. We will see you next time. We're going to leave you with these words of wisdom from Thomas Edison. He says, when you have exhausted all possibilities, remember this, you haven't. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next time right here on Horseshoes and Hand Grenades. Thank you very much, everybody. We will see you on the flip side.
Hopefully next Saturday.
Yeah, hopefully next Saturday. That'd be fun. Alrighty, bye-bye.